Hey guys, today we'll be doing a hard prune on the pink pixie Bougainvillea. This boogie I'm trying to bonsai and keep it kind of tree form, but as you can see, it likes to grow in a vine pattern, what you call it. It likes to be a vine and climb, so it's really long. The branches just keep growing longer and longer without any branching. So without pruning, you're just gonna get like this mess of a plant. So today we're just gonna prune it back pretty hard, and I'll probably just stick the cuttings into my propagator and get new plants out of these, since they're pretty big branches and they're pretty long. So we'll just get started. So first, I did some pruning indoors just because it was just getting out of hand, and like my dragon fruit, I prune it a little longer than I would usually do. I'm just going to remove some leaves so you can see in here. I prune it a little longer so that I can prune it back some more. As you can see, this one is pretty long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prune it back. I'm not sure if you can see, but you see there's a bud to the left here, and then there's a bud coming out this way. There's a bunch of buds at that base there, so I think I'm going to want it to branch out there. If I cut it here, this would be a little bit too long for my liking, so I'm just going to snip it there. So next would be this one here. As you can see, I pruned it here. This branch is growing out instead of two, so I think instead of having this bud grow out this way, I'm going to cut here so this bud grows out that way. So I'm going to snip it right there. We've got this branch. It's actually in a pretty decent spot already, because I want the branch to grow back out this way, which that one is doing. This is the new bud. But that seems to be a little long. But I think that's okay. I'm just going to cut it here for now. We can always come back and refine it later. Let me get a close up here so you guys can see more of the pruning. Alright, so the next branch will be this one. Maybe I should turn it so you guys can see it better. Let's take care of this long one in the back here. This guy, he is extremely long. So now we got to decide where we want to go. Let's get rid of those so you guys can see it better. Where we want to go. There's a bud growing straight up this way, which is probably pretty good. Bud growing this way, which is probably not ideal, because we took, we went out this way. We took a right turn. We don't want to do another right turn. It's just a weird, it just ends up looking like this, which is super weird. So that's probably a no-go. I could prune it back to the base because there's a couple buds here, which could be pretty good. But this top one is just going to grow back into the plant, which I don't like. So I could probably prune it here because there's one back here that's going to grow out this way, which is kind of ideal. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I think that's what we'll have to do, is prune it all the way back. So I'm just going to show you guys here. So this was the top bud. I cut that off so it doesn't grow, up this way, but the lower bud is still here. So hopefully it grows out this way, and that's kind of what we want. Not sure if you guys see what I'm pointing at here. So right here is where I pruned. You can see there's a bud here, and there's actually a bud right there on this other side, and I want that bud to come out this way. There was a bud right here that I snipped enough off where I don't think it's going to grow. It would be growing straight up here, and that just doesn't look that great. So back to pruning. We can turn this all the way around now and sorry about that. Alright. So now that we got that in view, let's get rid of this leaf here so you guys can see it better. We got this branch here. We definitely don't want it to grow downwards. That's a no-no. You know, you don't want any branches growing downwards or inside of a curve. So this one we're going to probably want to grow up, but I think I wanted to grow up and out this way instead of back in that way. There really isn't a branch that's, well, this one here. So let me snip this off here and show you. You see this branch is going to grow this way, but this is too long. It's about that long. So there's no other buds like it on this side except for one right by the crotch there. So we may have to prune it all the way back here to get that. And then this guy, again, we don't want down, so where this leaf is, we don't want the branch to grow this way. Right before that, there's one that's growing up, but it's growing this way, kind of towards the wall there. Not sure we have much of a choice with that. We can always wire it later, so I'm gonna prune it right there. And now we just got to decide if we want to do anything with this top here. Let's get rid of some leaves so you can see. It's actually not too bad, but it's a little long without any branching, so we're gonna force branching here. I don't want it to grow back towards the tree, so there's one bud right here that we can get, and I'm just gonna get rid of that top bud. You guys can see that. So snip that there. This branching is okay. There's two branches. It's branched off. I'm sure you can see there's a branch here on the bottom where this leaf is, and the branch going up. So we want to continue that, and I think there's two buds, one to the left and one to the right. We continue it to the right. I think that's what we'll have to do. Actually, you know what? This might be too long for my liking. Same with that. So I may prune it back pretty hard here. Yeah, that's what I'll do with all these. I'm just going to prune it back. This is... I kind of want to stick with the swept look to the right here. I guess I haven't decided what the front was. This looks like a pretty good front here. This one just looks a little awkward. This one is growing towards you, so not that great. Yeah, I think our front is either that. Yeah, I think it'll be that. This would be a good front. So I guess what I have to decide is I think I'm going to get rid of this whole side and make it more upright. But the issue is then I don't have any branches on this side, which is kind of bare. What I can do, let's get rid of this. If I cut this back here, there is a new big bud right there that will start growing, and maybe it'll force, you know, new branches on this side to grow. I'm torn right now. I do want this to be the new leader, I think. Actually, I think I'm going to go with eventually I'm going to go with a cascade style. So what's going to happen is it's going to go down here and then it's going to bend back down. So I'm going to need some new growth down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to let one of these buds, far buds, grow out pretty long, like how we had, you know, these guys. And then I'm going to wire it into place and then I'll prune it. So I think that's what we are going to do. This guy is a little long here, so snip him off there. I'm still debating. This guy might need to go altogether. But let's stick with that for now, and we just need to decide where our apex is. So I think this guy can be the apex. If I have another branch here, or should I make this the apex? It is kind of weird just to have, you know, straight coming out, so I think all these will need to be cut, except for the apex. I don't like how this guy's growing, you know, towards us. If this is going to be... So if we have this be the front. Okay, well for sure I think this guy's got to go because he's not going to be the apex. And this branch is not ideal to cut because it will grow into this branch or towards the back, and we don't want it to grow backwards. So that leaves this guy, and I can cut them all to the base practically. This guy is almost too... I'm just going to get rid of him. He's too vertical. You see how he's almost perpendicular to this bottom branch here? Same with this guy. Not ideal. I'm just going to snip them both off. There you go. Did not like how perpendicular they were. So this guy's a little straight. Get rid of him also. And this guy, there's too much. Let's go there also. Yep, we did it. We pruned everything off. But it's okay. These guys are super resilient, and I expect it to come back, you know, pretty quick here. So I'm going to get rid of some more leaves here just so that the new leaves come out, they'll be a little smaller and more uniform. I will leave a few small ones just so it has some leaves, but yeah, that's it. Stay tuned. We'll do an update video in a few weeks, if not a month here, to see, you know, the new growth flush out. And when I get the new growth, I'm expecting a lot of blooms, so stay tuned. That's what we have.